Hello everybody. Today we will see what is centrifugal force. In the previous lecture of this chapter, rotational dynamics, we have seen uh, all the terms. Now we will see what is centripetal centripetal force. We have already completed in previous lecture. Okay, and now we will see what is centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is away from the center. Means suppose you take an example of an merry-go-round. What happens in merry-go-round? All the children which are sitting in that there, all the children move away. Means the force is acting away from the center, and the all the children are moving like this, and means they from the center, it's the center is inside here. They suppose this is the center, and they are moving away from the center. Okay, and force equal to force is equal in magnitude but real force, but opposite to n omega square r. Means force is equal in magnitude. This force is centrifugal force is equal in magnitude but opposite to the m omega square r force, that is acceleration, opposite in acceleration. And next, it is a pseudo force arising due to the centripetal acceleration. Centrifugal force is a pseudo force, and it is arising due to the centripetal acceleration, and it is a non-real force but not an imaginary force. Suppose take an example here. Suppose this is a hole here. I have tied this like this, and I rotate this like this. It is moving like this, round and round and round and round. But as it is moving, the from this center, its direction of this all these three plates is away from this center, and it's moving like this. Like this, I am taking here, and it is moving round like this, away from this direction and moving round and round. This is the example of this centrifugal force, and the resultant force in any frame of reference. The resultant force of this force is any frame of reference is zero, and hence it is a net resultant force, and hence it is a net it's a net resultant pseudo force. And how we denote as summation of resultant force means real force plus pseudo force, that is resultant force we have taken here as real force plus minus m omega square r, that is pseudo force we are taking as here. So this plus minus it becomes minus, that is equal to 0. So this was all about the centrifugal force. Now we will see what are the application of the of this. Now in this chapter we have completed the uh, uniform motion, non-uniform motion, and centripetal acceleration and centrifugal acceleration, and all the terms from starting center of mass, pseudo force, and all. And now we are going to see what are the application of uniform circular motion. This is application of uniform circular motion. In that from the application of uniform circular motion, first one is vehicle on a horizontal circular track. Now we have to consider the vehicle which is moving on a horizontal circular track. Means the vehicle is taking a turn, taking a circular turn, means it's performing a circular motion, circular track like this, and the road is horizontal. So from this diagram we can see here this is a point C, and the car is this road is horizontal, but the track it's moving like this is circular, and the how many forces are acting on this vehicle we will see. First, we know at in general every time we must know that how many forces are acting on each particle. Suppose we consider here there is a block. Always there will be a normal reaction force which is directed upwards, and second force is naturally mg, which is weight that is directed downwards in downwards direction. So in same case, in same way, on this car, the normal reaction force is directed vertically upwards, is acting the one force, and second force which is the weight which is mg directed vertically downwards direction. Means what? This normal reaction N and Mg balances each other. So we can say that Mg is equal to N. And here the frictional force, which is static frictional force, is acting in this direction, which is opposite to the speed of this car, which is opposite. Means frictional force is always directed opposite to the uh, direction of the car where it is moving straight. It is in opposite direction. So this is a static frictional Fs which is directed opposite to this car vehicle, and the distance between this here the weight mg. Okay, you can see in the diagram here mg, and this point C, here it is circular like this. Here the distance between this mg and C is distance is r. So the forces acting on a vehicle is first is I have explained vertically weight, which is weight mg vertically downwards. Okay, and normal second force is normal reaction force, which is N, which is vertically direct acting upwards. Okay, and third force is static force of static friction, which is Fs, which is direct uh, acting towards the opposite of the vehicle. And from here now we have to prove the equation. What is the equation of this vehicle? Okay, so we can write. I have I have already told that this n, and which is directly uh, acting upward direction n, vertically upwards, and now downwards. They both balance each other. So we can write as mg is equal to n. I have told. So that equation we will consider as a equation number 1, and Fs is this force. While taking a turn, this car will act as a centripetal force on this. Means force of static friction is equal to, we can say that it is equal to centripetal force. Means Fs is equal to, we can write as m omega square r. Okay, so Fs is equal to, here Fs is equal to m omega square r, and as usual we know the value of omega is equal to v upon r. I will substitute that equation here, m omega square r. What will happen then? Here it will be m omega square, instead of omega what I will substitute, v upon r. Omega is equal to v upon r, then it will become v square upon r square here, and this r as it is, and this r and this r will get cancelled, and we get this equation mv square upon r. Then from equation 1 we can write as m is equal to n upon g. So from equation this one we will substitute the value of m in this equation here. What will become then? The fs is equal to n upon g. Okay, n upon g. Here it is m. Here m value we will substitute as n upon g, then it will become n upon g into v square upon r as it is. Then we will take g in this side, it will become n into v square upon gr. So and taking this n in this side, it will become fs upon n is equal to v square upon g into r. Okay, so this term will be as it is on the left hand side, v square upon r, fs upon n is equal to v square upon g into r. Further we will see. Okay, further we will see. According to the condition, we know that Fs force of this static friction is directly proportional to n, which is normal reaction. So Fs is equal to mu of s upon into n, where mu of s is coefficient of static friction. Okay, so at maximum speed, fs f of x maximum upon n is equal to mu of s. Then from equation 2, what was the equation 2? We can write as mu is equal to v square upon gr is equal to mu. Okay, then v square is equal to mu into rg, then v is equal to under root of mu rg. This is the equation of v. We have gone. If we have gotten, if normal force increases, then frictional force also increases. So from equation 2, according to this condition, which condition? When this frictional force increases, the frictional as soon as the frictional force increases, the normal force also increases. Means they are directly proportional to each other. So we can write as fs is equal to f of s is equal to mu s into n. At a maximum speed, it will become f of s maximum upon this n will become here. This n will be go in the denominator upon capital N, and this mu s And from equation 2, what is the equation 2? Which is v square upon g into r. Okay, substituting the value of this f of fs upon n. Okay, and this mu of s as it is, this mu of s as it is, and equation 2, from equation 2, what was the equation 2? It was, equation 2 was v square fs upon, equation 2 was fs. Okay, equation 2 was fs upon n. Okay, is equal to v square upon gr. Fs upon n is equal to v square upon gr here. So instead of, then substituting, instead of fs upon n, we are substituting here v square upon, here v square upon gr here, and this mu as it is. Okay, then what we will get, taking this v square in this side, this gr in this side, and this mu as it is, then uh, this v square will be square root of v is equal to, here v square of into mu into gr it was, then it will become v is equal to under root of mu into rg. Now next application we will see. Now in the application of the uniform circular motion, we have seen the first application, vehicle moving on a horizontal circular road, and second application is well of death or wall of a death. Second application, here second application you can see well or wall of death. Okay, here in the diagram this is the circle, in the circus, in the circus you have seen, you may have seen the bike, on a bike, a man on a bike move in the circular path round and round, round and round. Okay, that is the example. Means in the same way here also, here is the particle or vehicle, consider here it is your vehicle is there, then we will see this is the center of the well. Okay, and these are the walls of the wells, and on this point we have considered the vehicle, our vehicle. Okay, on that center, that is the center of this well, here it is point c given, and we have considered r as the radius of the this well. Okay, now we have to see how many forces are acting on this vehicle when it is moving. Okay, now this is the vehicle. The first force which is acting, as usual we know that first force is, which is the force, weight mg, which is up, direct directed downwards, which is mg. You can see here mg, downward, in downward direction, mg in the downward direction, and second force is acting normally towards the center. Okay, towards the center of the circle. How? Because suppose uh, while we are having, suppose this is the block, from here it is the normal force acting, we are drawing, we are denoting like this, capital N. Okay, but the car here, but here the car is moving like this, so the normal force is acting, so the normal force is acting like this on the, on this vehicle, in this way. Okay, the vehicle is moving in this circular motion, so the normal force is acting in this direction towards the center, and if we are considering this body, then the normal reaction force capital N is directed, denoted as like this, up in the upward direction, perpendicular. Okay, so this is also the same in same way, but the vehicle is on this wall, so the normal reaction is denoted like this, capital N towards the well. Understood? And then third force is acting upwards. Okay, which is the force, static force, vertically static force, which is acting between the wall of the well and the tire, which is upwards in the direction of the like wall. Here upward you can see that is Fs. Okay, so the R is the radius of the well, and the forces acting first is normal, which is horizontally towards the center. Okay, and second force is weight, that is acting downwards, that is mg, you can see. Okay, third is static friction. Okay, Fs, which is vertically upward between the wall and the tires of the between the walls and the tire of the vehicle. Okay, wall and the tire. And now the frictional force prevents the slipping of the car. If there is no frictional force, the car may be slipped, and while moving like this, the the path of the car is circular. Okay, in the circular motion, the car is traveling in a circular motion in this way. If there is no static friction, the car may slip. So the slipping of the car prevents is prevented by the static friction. So its magnitude is mg. So we can write as Fs static friction, Fs is equal to mg. That is equation number 1. Okay. Now force we can write as capital N. N is equal to mv square upon mv square into r, which is uh, inwards. So we can write as m omega square r. Okay, m omega square r. Then substituting the value of omega. Now till now we have substituted the value in m omega square r. The value of omega square into r, then value of omega is equal to v upon r. Substituting v omega instead of omega square, we are substituting v upon r. Then what it becomes, v square upon r square. Then r and r, then this r and this r get cancelled. Then r square here and this r get cancelled, and we get finally mv square upon r. That is equation number 2. Okay, so equation 1 is static friction, which prevents the uh, slipping of the vehicle. So its magnitude is given as Fs is equal to mg, which is equation number 1, and force N is equal to mv square upon r, and static friction is always less than or equal to mu s, coefficient of static friction, into capital N. Okay, here Fs is less than or equal to mu s into n, means static friction is less than or equal to coefficient of static friction into capital N. Now what we have here, the value of from equation 1 and 2, this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. What we have, the value of Fs mg. Okay, so we're substituting the value of mg here, mg mu s as it is. Okay, substituting the value of n. What is the value of n here? Mv square upon r. Okay, then mv square upon r, and then this m and this m get cancelled. Okay, understood? Once again, I will repeat Fs static friction, F of S static friction, F of S is less than or equal to mu s into capital N. Okay, so substituting the value of f of s means static friction Fs from equation 1. Here you can see is equal to mg. Here it becomes mg instead of Fs, mg. Then less than or equal to mu of s as it is. Then substituting from equation 2, the value of capital N is the value of force is mv square upon r. So this m and this m get cancelled. What we have here now, g is less than mu of s and remaining terms are v square upon r. Then further we have to solve. Further we have to solve. Further after this, g is less than or equal to mu of s into v square upon r. Then we will take this g into r. This r in this side. It becomes gr less than, okay, mu of s into v square upon r. Gr upon mu of s, and here less than or equal to v, less than or equal to v square. Okay, okay, g is less than or equal to mu s v square upon r. We are taking this denominator r here and mu s in the numerator. In the denominator, mu s was in the numerator and we are taking this mu s in the denominator and v square as it is. Then v square is the greater than v. Now we are taking v square is equal to, v square goes in this side. The sign is also, sign will remain like this only because here it was g of r upon mu f s. Then v square is greater than or equal to g of r upon mu of s as it is. Then we get v minimum as this v square will be become square root of under root gr g of r upon mu of s. Okay, got it? Now this here it was first from first equation. Once again we will go through this here what happens exactly. Okay, how many forces are acting, we know that also. The normal force, reaction normal force is acting towards the center of the well, and mg weight mg second force is acting mg downwards, and vertically upward is static friction is applied, and static friction is less than or equal to coefficient of static friction into capital N, which is normal reaction. Okay, and if there is no static friction, the car may be slipping. So the static friction prevents the slipping of the car so that it can move in a circular motion, and then its magnitude is Fs is equal to mg. So that Fs is equal to mg we have substitute here, and this capital N equation of force we have substituted. What is that? Mv square upon r. Then r get cancelled. G is, then what remains, the terms are remaining. G is less than or equal to mu s in mu of s into v square upon r. Then further the equation will be, we are taking r in this side, it becomes g of r upon mu of s is less than or equal to v square. Then again we are taking this term at this side. It will come v square. We have to find the v minimum. So we are taking here v square, which is greater than or equal to g of r upon mu of s. Then this v square, v is equal to this under root will be the square root of g of r upon mu of s. Okay. Now second example, second application of uniform circular motion we will see, that is banking of road or banking of road or banked road.